Hey guys, today we're doing Miss Argentina from Beetlejuice. In some shots she looks a bit more green and in others she looks a bit more teal, so I swatched both colours for you so you can choose which one you want to do. But I went for the teal in the end because I think it goes really well with the hair. Obviously if you go for the green you'll need to make sure all of the other shades for the contour and highlight and things like that match the green that you've used. So I'm starting out by just giving myself a base of that teal colour and I'm putting it everywhere where the dress wouldn't cover. So my chest, my arms, face, ears, all of that. I'm bringing the teal right up to my hairline so that I don't end up with a skin coloured ring around my face. But I will be wearing a wig, so if you're wearing a wig, you don't really need to go right up to your hairline like this because your wig's going to cover that. I'm not using too much water with the paints because I want that really thick, opaque coverage. If you try and layer these paints, then you tend to run into problems with cracking or with it getting really patchy looking. So if you can get it nice and opaque in one coat, then you're laughing. Then I'm taking a matching teal eyeshadow and using that as a face powder, and I'm powdering everything. This is going to help set it, and if you have any patchy areas, then it should help sort those out. You could use a translucent powder for this as well, but then obviously it won't help if you have patchy areas. I'm using a powder brush for this and just patting the powder gently everywhere. For the contour, I'm using a darker shade of teal and a contour brush, and to apply it, I'm squeezing the bristles of the brush while I kind of get the powder down and then letting go of the bristles so that I can blend it out. Because I don't want to get more brushes than I have to dirty today. As usual, my sideburns want to be part of my contour, but no, get out of there. I'm going super light with my contour because Miss Argentina has these gorgeous chubby cheeks, so I don't want to go too strong with it. To try and give the illusion of those chubby cheeks, I'm taking a smaller brush and just kind of contouring around my cheeks to make them look a bit more round and full. I'm going really light with this contour and blending it out really well because I don't want it to end up looking like I just have a line drawn under my cheeks. We want it to look kind of natural. And I'm bringing that contour back into the contour I placed on my cheeks earlier, so it looks almost like one continuous line. For the highlight, I'm using a lighter teal color, and this isn't a highlight like a shimmery donut glaze style highlight that we sometimes use in everyday makeup. This is like a dimension highlight, so it's just to make the high points of the face a lighter shade of the base color. Then I went back in with white because the light teal just wasn't giving me that popping highlight that I wanted. And then I went back in with some white cream paint because it just still wasn't bright enough. I'm using the white on a damp beauty blender and just really gently patting it on all the high points on my face. So the center of my forehead, the tops of my cheeks, the apples of my cheeks to help with the illusion of the chubbier cheeks, on my chin, down my nose, and on my cupid's bow. For any patches where the highlight isn't blending nicely with the teal, I'm taking the brush I applied the teal with, spritzing it with a bit of water but not adding any more product, and just gently going around the edges of it to give that nice gradient. And then I'm going back in with my contour shade and contouring how I normally would, so around my forehead, my temples, down the sides of my nose and along my jawline. And again, I'm going really lightly with this contour. It's more just to bring that dimension back into the face rather than to kind of reshape it. Then I'm taking a pearlescent white eyeshadow and using that for my shimmery highlight. Feel free to skip this step. I'm pretty sure that they weren't using shimmery highlights on the original Miss Argentina, but I couldn't resist. For the eyes, I'm starting out with a deep purple that's a little bit on the browny blue side, kind of bruise color, and I'm defining my crease with that. I'm also adding that colour below my lower lash line. Then I'm switching over to a blending brush and blending the colour in my crease up towards my brow bone, and it does go quite far up. Miss Argentina's kind of blend is almost the entire eye socket. So you want to keep it most intense in the crease, but really, you know, bring it far. Go back to the 90s with this. Once it's blended out far enough, I'm switching over to a clean fluffy brush and just really blending out those edges. I don't want any harsh lines around the edges or it's going to look a little bit panda-ish. Or, you know, a lot panda-ish. If you're struggling to get a really nice blend on the edge, then you could go in with a fluffy brush and the matching teal eyeshadow that we use to powder the face and just go around the edges with that, but just use like a tiny, tiny bit of the teal at a time until it looks really, really seamless. Then I'm taking a matte black eyeshadow, which I am failing to point at. I am pointing at the gold, so just ignore that. I'm using the black. I'm using that on my lower lash line and then just smoking it out a little with a blending brush and really keeping it nice and tight to the lash line. I'm also using that black on the outer half of my crease, which is just going to really define that crease. And I'm blending it out with the brush that I used for the purple because it still has a bit of the purple product on it, so it's just going to make blending it a bit easier. And I'm keeping this pretty tight to my crease line. I don't want to bring it too far up like we did with the purple. Once it's nicely blended, I'm switching over to a fluffy brush just to kind of finish off that blending. Then I'm taking a white eyeshadow base and using that for my whole lid, and it's kind of cut crease style, so I'm trying to get that really nice sharp line along the crease. If you don't have a white eyeshadow base, you could use a white eyeliner for this, or you could use a cotton bud, a damp one or one with some makeup remover on it, eye makeup remover obviously, and just get rid of the teal on your eyelid so that it doesn't kind of infect the eyeshadow, and you can give yourself that nice defined crease. Then I'm taking the pearlescent white I used for the highlight and a pearlescent silver to use on the lids. I'm using the white on the inner half of the eye and the silver on the outer half, and then just blending them together in the middle. And because we have that sticky base on there, you have to kind of pat them in the middle. You can't swipe because it's just going to make a clumpy mess. Then I'm going back in with a tiny bit of that matte black just to define the outer V a bit. And again, I'm patting to blend it rather than swiping. Miss Argentina has some pretty feisty wings, so I'm using a liquid liner and I'm bringing the wing kind of all the way to the edge of where the eyes are blended, so pretty far out. And I'm topping it all off with a nice pair of dramatic false lashes. For the lips, I'm just doing a basic red lip, so some red liner filled in with some red lipstick, preferably a red that matches your hair or wig if you are going for the hair situation. I did kind of mess up a bit here and I didn't clean the teal off my lips first, so you can see that showing through the lipstick. So yeah, you should probably clean up before you put your lipstick on. Finally, I'm contouring and highlighting my neck and chest because it's looking a bit flat there. It needs some dimension. I'm using the same contour and highlight colors that I used on my face. And if you move around, you can get your collarbones to poke out and the muscles in your neck. So you can just follow those and contour the low points and highlight the high points. And I do, again, try and go really easy with the contour and highlight in these areas and blend them out really well so that you don't end up with any harsh lines because it can look a bit strange if you have harsh lines there. I almost forgot about the brows. You can't actually see Miss Argentina's brows because of the fringe on the wig, so I am giving her red brows to match her hair. I'm taking a red eyeshadow and an angled brush and just filling in my brows the way I normally would with a powder brow product. Because I already have the teal on my brows, it's going to show through the red eyeshadow. So I went for a red that is lighter than the wig I'm wearing and is more red based rather than blue based, so that it's gonna look like a pretty good color match. But you could just clean off the teal with a cotton bud and some makeup remover or water before you draw on your brows if you want to. And that's it, guys. That is the finished look. I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.